Okay, imagine this. You're in the middle of a D&D campaign, and things are getting a little tricky.
Right.
And your character could really use like a little boost.
Yeah.
What kind of magical item would you wish for?
Oh, that's a good question.
Something cool, something useful, but, not something that would just like...
Totally break the game.
Yeah, exactly. Turn your character into some kind of like unstoppable god.
Yeah.
I had a situation kind of like this the other week, actually.
Oh, yeah.
My party was trapped in this like crumbling temple.
Oh, no.
And my character, who's a rogue,
Okay.
pretty nimble, let's just say,
Uh-huh.
ended up separated from the group.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. And all I had was this rope of climbing,
Okay.
which is usually my go-to for,
Getting the high ground.
yeah, a better vantage point for a sneak attack.
Right.
But with the room literally falling apart around me, that rope became my lifeline.
Wow.
I managed to lasso this loose stone swing to safety just as the ceiling caved in.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't flashy, but it felt so heroic.
I bet.
It really did.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of how even a seemingly simple item can become a game changer.
Totally.
It's not about raw power. It's about using your resources creatively
Exactly.
to overcome challenges. And that's the core idea behind this article we're looking at today from LitRPG Reads.
Yep.
It's called Create Epic D&D Magic Items That Won't Break Your Game, written by Kiera Mensah.
I love it.
It reminds me of this campaign I was in where I started with a drift globe.
Okay.
Just a simple floating ball of light,
Yeah.
Seemed pretty mundane at first, but it ended up being so valuable for exploring dark dungeons.
Oh, yeah.
Signaling allies, even creating distractions. It's amazing how a simple item can have such a big impact.
That article really dives deep into that whole idea of heroic items, right?
Yeah,
Items that make you feel clever and resourceful
exactly.
rather than just overpowered.
The author, Kiera Mensah, she calls it the OP trap.
I like that.
Where items are so powerful, they just trivialize challenges.
Right.
And they take away the fun of problem solving.
Yeah, no fun in that.
No fun at all.
So heroic items are about giving players tools that encourage creative thinking,
Absolutely.
strategic play.
Yes.
And she's got this whole list of low-level items
Yes, she does.
that are just packed with potential.
It's so much potential.
Like the Cloak of Billowing. Now, that's not going to win you any battles,
Right.
but it's perfect for a dramatic entrance.
Oh, for sure.
Distractions, maybe even intimidation.
Definitely.
Or the bag of tricks.
Oh, yeah.
That seems simple on the surface, but depending on what you pull out of that bag,
Things can get crazy.
yeah, things can get pretty chaotic.
And pretty fun.
That's what we like.
Exactly.
That's what we want.
Yeah, what I find so fascinating about these low-level items is they're fantastic for role-playing.
Totally.
The Cloak of Billowing, it might not offer much in combat, but imagine using it to create a diversion.
Yeah.
Or enhance a bluff. Okay.
Suddenly it becomes an integral part of your character's personality.
It becomes like a signature.
Totally. Their style.
Yeah, and the article also emphasizes how these items can be tied to your character's backstory.
Oh, absolutely.
Or the campaign's lore, like the Ancestral Blade,
Oh, that's a good one.
which might have special properties
Right.
against a specific type of enemy
Yes.
connected to your family history.
That's cool. That's where items become more than just tools.
Yeah.
They become part of the narrative.
I like that.
An item with a rich backstory, it adds depth to your character and connects them to the world in a meaningful way.
For sure.
It's no longer just a +1 sword. It's a family heirloom,
Right.
imbued with history and purpose.
Speaking of purpose,
Yes.
some items are designed to reward clever gameplay, like the immovable rod.
Oh, yeah, the immovable
I
rod.
love that thing.
So good.
You could use it to hold a door open, sure.
Right.
But you could also use it to climb,
Totally.
create traps.
Even launch yourself across a chasm if you're thinking creatively.
Yeah, it's like a physics puzzle in item form.
It is.
It really is.
It's so great.
The immovable rod is a great example of how a simple mechanic can lead to incredible versatility.
For sure.
It doesn't have flashy powers,
Nope.
but its utility is limited only by the player's imagination.
Exactly.
It challenges you to think outside the box
Yes.
and find creative solutions to problems.
Love it. And the article really drives home this point about utility over raw power.
Oh, yeah.
It highlights items that support the adventuring life without making characters invincible.
Right.
Things like the Lantern of Revealing,
Okay.
which lets you spot hidden dangers,
Uh-huh.
or Boots of Elvenkind,
Yeah.
which allow for silent movement.
Those items are all about giving you an edge,
Right.
not a guaranteed win.
Yeah.
They enhance your existing skills and strategies, make you a more effective adventurer,
Right.
without trivializing the challenges.
Right. It's about making the game world feel more real.
Absolutely.
And immersive.
Immersive, for sure.
Yeah, the article mentions the folding boat.
Okay.
And honestly, it didn't sound that exciting to me at first.
Right.
But then I thought about how useful it could be in a campaign with lots of rivers and lakes.
Oh, yeah.
And it becomes essential for travel, exploration, and even escape.
Exactly. And that's what's so clever about these utility-focused items.
Yeah.
They solve practical problems and open up new possibilities for gameplay without resorting to overpowered abilities.
Like that.
Yeah.
And speaking of immersive, the article also touches on the idea of custom items.
Oh, custom items, yeah.
Tailored to specific campaigns.
That's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, like sand shifter sandals for a desert setting.
Right.
Or a pearl of the tides for underwater adventures.
Oh, I like that.
It adds a whole new level of personalization to the game.
It really does. That's where dungeon masters can really shine.
Oh, yeah.
They can create items that are not only useful, but also deeply integrated into the lore and environment of their world.
Right.
Imagine a jungle campaign with items crafted from rare plants, allowing you to communicate with animals or control vines.
That sounds amazing.
Right.
It's like each item has its own story to tell.
Absolutely.
Connected to the history and ecology of the world.
Exactly.
Speaking of stories, the article mentions role-play enhancing items like sentient weapons.
Oh, yeah.
And cursed artifacts.
Those are always fun.
Those sound like they could lead to some really interesting character moments.
Absolutely. Those items introduce a whole new dimension to role-playing.
Right.
A sentient weapon might have its own goals and personality.
Wow.
Creating internal conflict for the character.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or a cursed artifact might offer great power, but at a terrible cost, forcing difficult choices and moral dilemmas.
We love a moral dilemma.
Always a good time.
The article even has these D20 tables for creating legendary magic items.
Oh, the tables. I love those.
You roll for the origin, the properties, the requirements for use, the power source, even the appearance.
It's like a random magic item generator.
It is.
But with so much depth.
It's fantastic.
I love those tables. They're fantastic for sparking creativity and coming up with unique items that feel truly special.
For sure.
Imagine rolling on the origin table.
Okay.
And getting something like forged from the heart of a dying star.
Whoa, that's cool.
That immediately gives you a sense of awe and mystery.
It does.
It really does.
I just rolled on the power source table and got captured starlight from other worlds.
Ooh, that's good.
That sounds incredible.
It does.
And then you can roll on the physical manifestation table.
Okay.
And get something like shimmers with the colors of 1,000 sunsets.
Wow.
Or emits a low hum that resonates with the user's heartbeat.
That's so cool.
Suddenly, you have an item that not only has fantastic powers, but also a unique visual and auditory presence.
It's not just a stat boost anymore.
Exactly.
It's a whole experience.
The possibilities are endless.
They really are.
It's amazing how these tables can help you create items that are not only powerful, but also evocative and memorable.
And that's what this article is all about.
I agree.
Moving beyond the idea of magic items as simple stat boosts.
Yes.
And embracing their potential for storytelling, role-playing, and world-building.
I have to give a shout-out to LitRPG Reads and Paul Bello.
Oh, absolutely.
For publishing this fantastic article.
Yeah, they're doing great work.
It's a great resource for both players and dungeon masters.
Promoting tabletop role-playing games.
Yeah.
And fostering a community of passionate gamers.
So before we wrap things up, let's put this knowledge to the test.
Okay, I like it.
Imagine you're in a D&D campaign. And you encounter a door that magically seals shut. If anyone tries to pick the lock or break it down, what kind of non-OP magic item would you want in your inventory to solve this problem?
That's a great challenge.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about the different ways magic items can be used to overcome obstacles. It's not about brute force, it's about clever solutions and creative thinking.
Right.
I like it.
It reminds us that even the simplest magic item can become epic.
Totally.
When used imaginatively.
Absolutely. And that's what makes D&D so much fun.
It really is.
The possibilities are limited only by our creativity.
It's all about using your resources wisely.
For sure.
And thinking outside the box.
Absolutely.
That's what makes D&D so engaging.
Yeah.
It's a collaborative game that encourages creativity.
It really is.
From both the players and the dungeon master.
For sure.
So to wrap up our deep dive today,
okay,
let's go back to that initial question.
Great.
What kind of magic item would you want in a tough spot?
An
item that wouldn't break the game, but would make you feel like a clever hero.
Something that makes you think, I'm so glad I had this in my bag of holding.
Exactly. And that's what I love about this whole approach to magic items.
Yeah.
It's not about power creep.
Right.
It's about finding creative solutions.
For sure.
And telling a better story.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Kiera Mensah's article really highlights that.
It does.
It's not just about giving players more powerful tools. It's about giving them tools that enhance the narrative.
Yeah.
And make the game more fun and engaging for everyone.
I completely agree.
So if you're a dungeon master looking to add some spice to your campaign,
okay,
or a player trying to come up with some cool ideas for your character, I highly recommend checking out that article on LitRPG Reads.
It's a great resource.
It is.
And Paul Bello, the mastermind behind LitRPG Reads,
yes,
is doing some amazing work in the tabletop RPG community.
Absolutely. And for all you listeners out there,
yes,
we'd love to hear your thoughts. What kind of non-OP magic items would you create? That's a good question.
Share your ideas in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know.
Maybe your item has a unique activation method.
Oh, interesting.
Or maybe it has unexpected side effects that make things interesting.
Ooh, I like.
The possibilities are endless, so get creative and remember, the most heroic items are the ones that help you tell a better story.
I love that. That's a great way to end it.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Until next time.